Okay then, it's time for another transfer roundup as we sink our teeth still into the off-season of the Overwatch League, and we got some moves and contenders as well, because of us being between seasons basically. Not seasons, months. EU and NA are between their months. So, let's start off in Korea. We divided this up into regions now. We're going to start off in Korea. This is one move. This is Miro, who used to be main tank at the Seoul Dynasty. He was a streamer for Gen.G, and now he's leaving that role. Very interesting move. And I wish Miro all the best. I don't know whether that's an indication of a return to play or whether that's just him giving up, basically. I wish him all the best going forward. Then, shall we move over to EU first? Yeah, let's move over to EU first. So, we have some new teams in EU. First of these is Old and Bored. They are coming into EU trials and they're probably going to do quite well looking at their roster. This is comprised of the Polish DPS player Dania, the Israeli DPS player Kafi, the Lebanon tank player Kekbondi, the Norwegian tank player Explorer, the Danish support player Ding, the French support player Barots, and two British coaches, Optimus and Connor. They're all coming in to Old and Bored. And then out of retirement, we are seeing the Bulgarian tank Boga come out of retirement, as I just said, and come and play for Old and Bored. I wish them all the best going into contenders. I think they'll probably do quite well. Then we have three moves at Vasta Gaming. This is them signing up the French tank Julio, the Swedish DPS player Cage, and the Canadian support player Verbo. They were all previously unassigned before this, and I wish them all the best coming into that team. And I'm sure Vasta Gaming will be looking to push on as, of course, a spot in the gauntlet is up for grabs in November. Then we have Vox Nihili. This is them bringing in the British DPS player Kotanks? That's a great name. He was previously unassigned, and I wish him all the best coming into Vox Nihili. Also, we're seeing some more teams in EU. Right, let's go through this then. This team is called Violet Sped Momentum. I think we all know what that's a rip-off of. And they will be signing up the Swedish DPS player Love, the Switzerland DPS player Sir Gibson, the Welsh tank player Blur, the German tank player Moose, the Swedish support player Ruby, the American support player Noctis, the two British manager, first of all, Scalings, and coach Pirate Flag. Wishing them all the best as they go into Momentum. And I think they will do pretty well. And then we have New Kings, and this team is actually pretty darn stacked when you look at its roster. So, first of all, they are bringing in Psycho, the Austrian DPS player. They're bringing in a Norwegian DPS player Onigod, who was previously with Dallas Fuel and has been rumoured with numerous Overwatch League teams. Then we have the Finnish support player Yofi, who was with the British Hurricane at one point. So again, that's a big player coming in. Then they're going to bring in the Canadian manager Werhammer. But on top of this, they're going to be transferring from some other teams. First of all, this is Young and Beautiful. They'll be signing up the Swedish tank player Lolshish, coming into New Kings. Big. But he is going to be partnered up once again with the Swedish off-tank player Ellie Vogt. Let's go. He'll be transferring over from Team Doge alongside the Portuguese support player Afox. Both coming into New Kings. It is fantastic to see Lolshish and Ellie Vogt back as a tank partnership once again. This is a tank partnership that is a storied history in Contenders EU, and it was blown apart by the Washington Justice because of visa issues and such. And it is great to see those two back and alongside each other. This is exactly what we need to see, and I'm so pleased that we are going to see these two alongside each other again. But that clears us out for the European region. Let's move over to North America then. Let's start off with Kratos. First of all, they are going to be getting rid of the American tank player Kraui. He will no longer be assigned, and I wish him the best in finding a new team. Then we see moves at Noble. First of all, they're going to be signing up the Korean tank player Soko. He'll be coming in after being previously unassigned. And then they are going to let go of two players. This is the Korean DPS player Sparrow. He will be no longer assigned. And also the American tank player Mikey, who will be unassigned now. Mikey, funnily enough, left Boston Uprising, went into Noble, and now he's left Noble as well. It's not going too well for Mikey, is it? I hope he gets some joy going forward. Then we have the American coach Dream. He was let go, and he's now going to be retiring. I saw which game he was going to, and I can't remember what it is. It's probably Valorant. It's normally Valorant. But yeah, he'll be no longer assigned. Then more movements at Kratos. This is the American DPS player Light coming in after being previously unassigned. I wish him the best at Kratos. Also, they will be signing up the British support player Chucky Milk from the Ultimates. Again, big movements into Kratos ahead of this last month of NA Contenders action. They will be getting rid of 3 players though. This will be the American DPS Default, the British tank player Specs, and the American tank player Cedro, all going out of Kratos, and they will no longer be assigned. Now, I've put in 200 MS because they compete in the NA region, even though they're a complete Korean team. Right, we're going to be coming in with the American tank player Jasmine, will be coming into 200 MS, and that person will be replacing the Korean tank player Violetta, who will be leaving 200 MS. I wish both players best of luck in their new ventures. Then we have Toxica, the Korean DPS player. He'll be leaving Susano. I'll get there eventually with that name, I really will. And he will no longer be assigned, wishing him all the best going forward. Then we have a new general manager at Revival. This will be the American manager JSR coming in after being previously head coach of Delta Phoenix, coming into Revival to general manage them, and I wish them all the best. Another very interesting move is the American sport Aspen. Aspen was with Team Doge, previously of Revival as well. Aspen, obviously, well-known female streamer, and she'll be signing up with Square One. Very interesting because I thought she's probably taken part in trials for Overwatch League. I think that's what a lot of Team Doge were rumoured to be doing. That's why Team Doge didn't compete last month. I think this might mean Team Doge might well disband, considering most of their team is now gone. But Aspen still has a shot at the Overwatch League, but she's going to have to pop off with Square One in this last month of Contenders, and hopefully if they get into the Gauntlet. There's still opportunities for her, but obviously the first round of tryouts for Aspen has probably failed. Right, then we have a movement over from the Australian region. This is the Australian coach Joel. He was with Ground Zero Gaming. He'll now be going on loan to Susano, and I wish him all the best there. He's still signed up with Ground Zero Gaming, but will be returning out for Susano in this last part of NA Contenders, so I wish him the best there. Then we have another movement at Susano. This would be them letting go of the American DPS player Far. He will be no longer assigned. I wish him all the best in finding new teams. Or a new team. New teams? He doesn't find multiple teams now, does he? And then we have a actually quite weird move. This is the Uprising Academy getting a new manager, I believe, although it doesn't say it on the list. This is the Chinese manager Raven. I wish him all the best at Uprising Academy. I think that's the first Chinese person we've seen in a management role in NA Contenders, and I'm not sure we've seen a player either that's Chinese. So that's very, very big. But let's round this out with the Overwatch League moves. So, first of all, Wizard Huyong has been let go as the strategic coach of the Seoul Dynasty. This is probably Seoul Dynasty's slimlining their management. It would not surprise me because of budget cuts for the Overwatch League season in 2021. It's a great loss, I think, but hopefully Seoul Dynasty should be alright. It depends on what player moves they end up making. Then we have 2 moves at the NYXL. This is one of the biggest moves of the off-season so far. This is the main tank Mano, who has been with the NYXL for 3 years. He is leaving the New York Excelsior and will be joining the Philadelphia Fusion. Big pickup. He is experienced in the Overwatch League. He is a really cool head. He is a great leader. I think that is a fantastic pickup for Philadelphia Fusion, and I think it is a slight improvement on Sado. NYXL, that's a big loss. And it'll be interesting to see who they get in to replace him. The rumours are Yakpung, but we have nothing at the moment. Also, NYXL are letting go of the support Mandu. He will be no longer assigned. He featured a little bit for NYXL, but he wasn't a mainstay. So I wish him the best in finding a new team. I think he will probably end up dropping down to Contenders. Another movement at the Seoul Dynasty will be Bong Woo Ri, who will be moving from an analyst role to a coach role at the Seoul Dynasty. Again, this is them slimlining. Less analysts, more coach. Less overhead, less money, less expenditure. So this is cuts at the Seoul Dynasty, but they are still maintaining a fairly good roster. Then we have a movement at the Toronto Defiant. This is the interim general manager All Bless leaving their role. I wish them all the best in their future endeavors. Again, Toronto Defiant going through a lot of change right now, and I wish them all the best. Also, very big move. We've mentioned this in another video. Is the Korean DPS player Jerry leaving the Boston Uprising and being no longer assigned. I would expect Jerry to get picked up by another team. I'd be disappointed if he didn't. He's had a decent season. So I'd expect Jerry to get picked up. It would be a surprise if he didn't, and I think a lot of people would be upset if he didn't. But I wish him all the best in finding that new team. And then last but not least, one of the weirdest moves of the off-season is Toronto Defiant signing Beast, otherwise known as Beast Halo, the American tank player from American Tornado. Toronto Defiant let go of Beast, and then he went and signed up for American Tornado and now he's back with Toronto Defiant. Little bit odd. Little bit odd that. Weird. Really weird. Clearly they see something in development for him. He was dropped a lot for Numlocked towards the end of the season, but there is new coaching staff at the Toronto Defiant now. So we will see, I think it's KDG at the Toronto Defiant now. We'll see what they've got in mind. But I am going to leave it here for this roundup. It's a nice, fast one. That's what I want to do. I like getting these out fast. A lot of moves, and it's going to be interesting to see how this shapes up going forward. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you'd like to give a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. See you then.